everyone. Jamie Sierra here with missionfulfillment.com. How is everybody doing today? Also, as you guys know, I'm the author of the book called The Big Four: Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Murray can teach us about creating an extraordinary life. Well, I think today we had two members, of course, of the Big Four who possibly played, perhaps one of the greatest tennis matches that have ever been played. Definitely the best tennis match that I have seen, at least for the last 5 years. And there have been so many great ones that I've seen. It's just tremendous. I mean, I root for all sports, but it is very special and very dear to me to see how much this sport has grown so much on a global level than it has the last 10 to 15 years. Very, very big thanks to players like these two, Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. And today was extra special. It just goes to show you how important, how imperative the mindset is to us. The mindset is what made this match, what made this epic final, Wimbledon final, go 5 sets into a tiebreaker, which was obviously Wimbledon had just implemented a tiebreaker this year in the 5th set that they have not done in the past when it gets to 12 all. Now, of course, we'll always what if the match was able to go on without a tie break. That might be something that we'll always look back upon, but I don't think so. I think obviously you might, for Roger Federer fans, they might say that only because Novak definitely had a distinct, massive advantage over at the tiebreak today, as the 3 sets that Novak did win were all in tiebreaks. Roger, of course, took sets 2 and 4. Obviously they weren't Novak's strongest 2 sets, but at the same time, you got to give Roger credit. He fought back. He was resilient. The last 2 times that Roger and Novak have met in a major final or in a Grand Slam final was back in 2015 at Wimbledon and at the U.S. Open. And it just seemed like Roger got kind of mentally out of it after he got himself down 2 sets to 1. And this year, and I was thinking the same thing was going to happen this year, but it didn't. Roger kept fighting back, and he truly showed what a great champion he was, just hanging in the match. And he just showed you, that he's just not all talent. He is, it takes tremendous will, tremendous persistence, and a tremendous mindset to hang in there, to stay tough, doing what he did. He was facing the best player in the world, and he took him to 5 sets. He took him to the end. He took him right to the tiebreak. I mean, that's how the match was determined. And and we can argue that maybe Novak was a little bit stronger physically, but I don't even know that. I think I think as far as Novak is concerned, he just hung in there, and he just waited for his opportunities. He played his best tennis when everything was on the line. We talk about the 5th set. Roger was up 40-15 serving for the match. He had 2 match points on his racket, on his serve, and didn't deliver on it. Novak came up with some brilliant plays, including one brilliant passing shot. It was a tough break for Roger. There's no question about it. But to say that Roger blew his opportunity, it's possible. But but it didn't break him, and that's all that really matters. Because you got to give Novak credit for stepping up. There's no question when Roger was serving for the match, there's definitely going to be butterflies. The moment is here, and that's the tough thing when you get to a fifth set and you're not serving first. Well, it's a little different now with the tiebreaker going to 12 points, but naturally, if you don't get that opportunity to win on the receiving side, if you're not serving first, you still got to, and if you're serving second in the final set, you still have that moment, that situation where if you break the opponent, you still have to come back and serve for the match. If Novak had an opportunity to break the opponent, let's say, for instance, Novak held serve. He was up 7-6 on serve, and Roger was serving, and Novak broke Roger. That would be it. That would be match end and done. So it's just a pressure cooker. It's just nerves. There's butterflies, and of course you can get nervous on double match point as well if you're on the returning side as well. So. But credit to both. So I just kind of want to make that clear as far as Roger is concerned, because a lot of Roger fans are going to go back and say, you know what, he was down 2 sets. He was 1 point away, up 40-15. He had the 2 chances to win the match, and he didn't deliver. But the fact is, he came back. He didn't fold his tent. A lot of people in that situation would have been demoralized, but Roger came back. It was 8-8. Roger came back, got it back up. Novak of course held and went up 9-8, but Roger came back. Kept it at 9-9, kept it back on serve until the tiebreaker was here, and Novak was just better at the critical moments, and that was the difference of the match today. Nothing to take away from Roger, because he played a tremendous match, but you got to give credit for Novak. He was clutch, and it just shows you the mindset that you have in that situation. Because I tell you, it's persistence, it's resilience, it's ability to stay calm and stay in peace with yourself, and stay, and have that Zen-like mentality, and have that calmness inside, even though the noise is perpetrating on the outside. There is so much tension on the outside that you really have to focus and keep your internal dialogue on the inside, and that's going to make the biggest difference. And I think that made the biggest difference for Novak today. I think Roger had his moments too, where he came up really big, because I tell you, he could have mailed it in at losing the third set, losing that tiebreaker, but he persisted and hung in there and came back and had a very, very strong fourth set. And you got to give credit to Roger for that as well. But it just shows you a match like this is such a big win for tennis. And the reason is these players are just absolutely phenomenal when it's under pressure. Novak, the ability to overcome the adversity, which I've mentioned so many times in the book. Novak had certainly a little bit of adversity. He used a little bit of Rafa's tenacity during the match as well. But it basically comes down to a lot of mind preparation. These two definitely prepared very well for this particular moment today. Definitely, it all has to do with mindset. And Roger, the same thing, is just believing in himself and having that self-belief in him to get himself to a point where, even though he's 37 years old, he is still fighting for major championships. He came this close to winning his 9th Wimbledon title. And you know what? He did not look like he was 37 years old today at all. He looked tough. He looked sharp. He looked fresh. And he came back. He came back 2 days after defeating his arch rival, Rafael Nadal, on a very, very hard-fought semifinal between the two of them. only just to come up a little bit short today. And it just shows you how impressed I am with these guys here. It's just the resiliency from both players. I mean, both showed why they're tremendous champions today. It's just absolutely incredible. I mean, text messages, of course, were flying. A lot of people I don't hear from every day saying, Jamie, what's going on? How's the match and everything? What a match we're seeing here. Yeah, it was a hell of a match. And, definitely always appreciate those who are thinking of me in a situation like this, because it was a very, very special match. Much more than I originally anticipated. I thought Novak was going to run away with this match, especially after Roger had an emotional win over Rafael Nadal, and just basically the matchups, the things that I felt Roger had to do in order to even have a chance to win this match, and he was able to do those things, and he put himself in a position to win this match, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't come up short, and you have to give Novak Djokovic all the credit in the world for what happened today. So I just kind of wanted to come on here and just discuss this and just say, this is just absolutely incredibly impressive. Just showed Roger just absolute consistency throughout the years. He's still playing at the same level as his first Wimbledon win 16 years ago. And 16 years later, he's still in a position to win this championship. We're talking 12 Wimbledon finals in 17 years this guy has been in. That is absolutely amazing. He's won 8 of them. Almost got his 9th today. For Novak, what can I say? He's chasing history as well. He could eventually surpass Roger in a couple of years. He's certainly been the best player this decade has seen, and I don't see him slowing down at all. He's going to be the heavy favorite going to the U.S. Open. He is mentally strong. He is very He definitely has that mind-body connection. You talk about a guy who's at complete peace with himself, understands not his role on the tennis court, his role in life, as a family man and as someone who is, just obviously he practices meditation, he practices inner peace, and he has that rich fulfillment inside. And by the time, he puts that all together in the work and the physical work and that he has to prepare to get ready for matches like this, it's just almost unbeatable where he's at right now. And Roger came close, but I think everything he had in the tank today, especially the way he lives his lifestyle on a holistic level, I think that's what really kind of pulled Novak through some of the tough times today. And, everything that he's been through in his life, I think, served as a great metaphor for him today on the tennis court. When you have the greatest player of all time pushing you and putting you in this situation and keeps putting pressure on you and you still prevail, it's just really, really something to see. And I can see why Novak even mentioned in his speech after the match saying that this might possibly be the greatest victory he's ever had. He's certainly had some great ones. There's no question about it. But definitely huge congratulations to Novak for showing what a true champion he is, and for Roger Federer too. 37 years old, and he took it to a 5th set tiebreaker. And you can't ask anything more from Roger as well. He truly showed he's a great champion. And, hopefully, I don't know when we're going to see these two get together again. I don't know if we're ever going to, when the next time we're going to see a match like this again. But you definitely have to savor these moments, these very special moments. So, I'm truly grateful. Somebody who is someone who's in the self-development field, but somebody who's also a massive tennis fan, to see a day like this is just incredibly special. And I'm just grateful to have happened to see this. And I hope those who are out there who, got a chance to watch this match can definitely see what an incredible match it is and what incredible sport tennis is and what a great metaphor for life we saw today, because it truly was incredible. So, guys, thank you for watching. And if you definitely enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you hit the thumbs up button. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye.